Hello all, this is Jason again, reporting on my sources. Again, I'm doing my project on wildlife crossings of northwest Montana, natural and artificial. As you can see in this picture, this is kind of the first of its kind in our area. They've done some in California and other states, and they seem to have worked out pretty well so far. But there's also underpass crossings and stuff like that, and then there's just the types of crossings that conservation groups protect, natural wildlife corridors that divert animals around the populated areas and stuff to protect them and us. So I'll be doing a report on that, kind of the pros, cons, controversy, who it saves, what kind of money it costs, etc., etc. So going on from there, my first source would be Garrett Turner. He's public affairs manager with the Montana Fish and Wildlife and Parks. They work closely with the Montana Department of Transportation and things to keep these wildlife crossings going, to propose new ones, to build them, and there are bear wranglers and stuff, so I get some good information from him on why we need these. My number two person would be Noah Marion. He is the political and state policy director with Wild Montana. It's a group here that I've done extensive work with. I've done news stories about them and about their starts and all that, and they're very involved in public policy and things like that for keeping our wildlands wild and keeping the animals safe and keeping us safe from the animals, etc. From there, my next source would be Charity Burns. She's a public information officer with the Montana Department of Transportation. I had a hard time trying to decide if she would be higher up on the list. Being the public information officer, she'd probably be one of the first ones I want to contact, honestly. But yeah, it's still up in there. Either way, she's getting contacted. This picture here is one of our underpasses that we've created for our wildlife. My next one would be Rick Bass. He's the executive director of the Yak Valley Forest Council. They're a pretty active group up here in northwest Montana, far northwest Montana where I live. I live in the Yak Valley in Troy, Montana. They're really good about protecting the waterways and everything, but they do a lot of stuff. This semester, I'll be doing multiple projects with them. Different stories about them, with them, etc. And I'll be working with them, hopefully trying to get a job. But we'll be working on capturing and tagging and releasing wolverines this semester, so I'm pretty excited about that. And last source there would be Tom Martin. He's the Environmental Services Bureau Chief for the Montana Department of Transportation. Now, I put him last because he's kind of last case. If I can't get any help from Charity Burns, stuff like that, like I said, she's the public information officer, so she's the one to talk to. But this is the guy that actually does all the planning and prepping and approving and etc. for these wildlife crossings and things like that. He's just a little bit higher up on the ladder, so it might be a little bit harder to get a hold of. And in conclusion, I don't honestly have a lot of worries. I've done interviewing, I've done news stories. This is right up my alley. I kind of keep it with the environmental kick, and I'm ready to get out in the wilds and start tagging some wolverines and taking pictures and video and doing interviews and stuff like that. This picture that I put up, it's a picture I used for another story, a grizzly bear story that I did last year. Just an example of why we need these wildlife corridors, because the grizzlies and these animals need to be protected more, as do we, from them. They're wild animals, and you see these signs all over Missoula, populated areas. They're coming in. So that's my presentation. Thank you very much.